Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's Planning Commission of February 3rd, 2026. Before we begin our meeting, we have a few things ahead. First, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. If you will, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace, for letting us gather here today. Above all, just foremost, we just ask for forgiveness, for just guiding us, wherever our faults, when we fail. We ask us to just help us, pick us back up as a nation, as a city, and just help us and guide us in every way possible. Let us torture our flesh and surrender. Below you, below your authority. And here tonight, we just ask you that to grant us wisdom, grant us courage. Let us make these wise decisions to direct the citizens of Springdale and the residents here. We just ask for protection all over our police officers, our workers, and city employees. And we thank you for their lives. We ask for protection over everybody as well. And again, be with us here tonight. In your Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen.
We now call tonight's Planning Commission to order. Roll call.
Brent Couch.
Here.
Chris Hussein.
Here.
Clement Ogonyemi.
Here.
Garrett Harlan.
Here.
Howard Austin.
Here.
Jennifer Keith. Mark Cloud.
Here.
Ray Cardiel.
Here.
Teresa Reynolds. Here.
Next, we have approval of minutes from January 6, 2026. This is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 8-0. Thank you all. Next up is election of officers. We'll open this up with nominations. I will begin by nominating Chris Hussein as chairman and Brent Couch as secretary. Are there any other nominations?
I'd nominate you, Mark, to be the vice chair.
Thank you. Any other nominations? If none, this will be a call for the vote for all three positions.
Call for the vote.
Thank you, Ray. That passes 8-0. Next is table items for tonight. These are items that we will not hear tonight's agenda. First is R26-06, that was tabled. Next is RP 26-02, also tabled. And that may be it. Yep. So those two items will not be heard tonight. They'll be heard in a future agenda. Next up are the items that were tabled from last month's meeting. The first item up for discussion is B26-02, Valor Volleyball. This is a variance from minimum parking requirements from 95 to 10 spaces presented by Lauren Webby.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Wedby and I just opened Valor Volleyball Club this year in Springdale, and it is a competitive travel youth league for kids. And we primarily, the reason for this variance is that we are a drop-off only situation. So that means parents drive by, drop off, leave. We maybe have we've been going since October with this, but this is our first time coming into this space to get the variance put through. But for the most part, I've only had 2 parents stay at a time in our facility, and that doesn't require 95 spaces. So I just am requesting that we go from 95 to 10 to meet the standards for you guys in the city.
Thank you for that. Any public comment regarding this request? Commissioners, any questions?
I have one. So y'all don't host any tournaments there or anything?
No, so we actually have a event planned, and it is at the Springdale Rec Center because I know that we are not at.
Okay.
Hey, Lauren, do you know, can you share parking spaces with other entities that are around there? Do you have the ability to do that if you do need more parking? Is that
Yes,
something you're able to do?
absolutely. I've communicated with Raka, that is the building next door to us, and they said we are more than welcome to use their space after hours, and we primarily function from 5 to 9 p.m. every single day.
Thank you for that. Any other questions? If none, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
That passes 7-1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is B26-05. This is McDonald's Restaurant, south of 34046 Butterfield Coach Road. Variance for minimum distance from drive-through and residential district, presented by Danielle Carter. We'll move that's to the end of the agenda. We'll come back to it if Danielle shows up tonight. Next up is rezoning. First item is R25-65. This is Randy Lee and Dorothy J., Oscar Leon, and Opal Reba White. They're asking to rezone from A1 to SF2, presented by Dana Rosa.
Good evening, Dana Rosa with Satterfield Land Surveyors, to
Hello.
answer any questions y'all have.
Any questions from staff?
I do have some comments for this. So this rezoning is actually bringing the property more into conformity as it already exists with residential. And I think there's an informal plat currently under review right now. So this rezoning request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Assure adequate land allocation for residential purposes by providing lots of adequate size.
Thank you for that. Any public comments regarding this rezone request? Commissioners, any questions? If none, this will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 8-0.
Thank you.
Staff will prepare an ordinance that goes to council on the 24th.
Next up is R26-04. This is DR Horton, Northwest Arkansas LLC. This is a request to revise from PUD to a revised PUD. There's also a preliminary plat, 2602 for Phase 3, which is revised, and a replat of 2603 Phase 1, presented by Ben Payne.
Yes.
And Crutches.
In crutches.
You doing all right?
I
You good?
am. I am
Okay.
ACL surgery last week.
Wow.
But, hey, this is a fun project.
That's impressive.
So, yeah, Ben Payne with Strand, address 4501 West Canyon Run Drive, Fayetteville. So with this revision, what it is the Phase 3 that you see up there. It initially was townhomes, and the revision is to go to more of a single-family approach. The product that Horton is wanting to utilize for this initially started as a townhouse-style product, and so it is a little narrower and deeper. They just found that in other markets and everything, by detaching, people liked that more. So it's the same intent. They're still meant to be leased. And yeah, we're just going in with traditional street right-of-way and larger street setbacks so that you can park within the actual drives. And then it also includes a large city-dedicated area to the north up there that is previously in Phase 1 and then the north part of Phase 3.
Thank you for that. Can you speak toward your replat on Phase 1?
Yes. So that lot right there, it's lot 83. Right now, it's just one large open space, and there's an existing monument in the bottom left-hand corner. And so because we're dedicating, I would say 95% of that lot to the city, we replatted so that we could keep the monument on a POA property while dedicating the rest.
Understood. Thank you for that. Staff comments?
Well, you did a great job summing it up. So I think since we're going to hear Phase 3 tonight, we've already heard and platted the first couple phases of this. So I'm not going to revisit the PUD in its entirety, but just as a recap for commissioners and the public, this is a 4-phase single-family, low-density residential development totaling in 437 homes. And then even though Ben touched on it, just procedurally, we're doing the replat because that phase one was already final platted. So that is going to be how we adjust those lines. Preliminary plat, you'll hear that presentation for phase three. And because what this does is modify the overall lot count or the configuration of the development as a total, we need to rezone to a revised PUD to make sure that our guiding PUD document aligns with all of the updated features of this development. So the rezoning, while I'm here, and I figure we may discuss the project, each one, because I think staff will break down parts of it. But for the rezoning portion, the request is in keeping with the following goals and policies, the comprehensive land use plan, and is recommended for approval. Encourage the development of a variety of housing types appropriate to the size and income of all households living and working in Springdale.
Thank you. Any further staff comments?
I'll go ahead and get started with the preliminary plat and then move into the replat. But for the preliminary plat for Brentwood Village Phase 3, in addition to the standard planning comments, we have noted the following. Staff encourages a consistent approach to perimeter fencing for this phase of the subdivision to maintain a cohesive and unified appearance within the final plat. Unless otherwise specified, the city will consider corner lots to have 2 frontages and 2 side yards. If a different interpretation is intended, go ahead and leave a note, and that's something for the final plat as well, just to keep in mind. Update the legend to include all symbols and line types used on the plans. Provide the location and size of all street islands. Make sure to include the plantings and improvements that are associated with those islands. Provide crosswalk markings at intersections and at all ADA ramp or truncated dome locations to support safe and accessible pedestrian crossings. Revise the spelling of streetlight in note number 9 on sheet 3, and add the following notes to the plat. Lots 23 through 29, 33, and 34 shall not have access to lot 2X open space. Lots 34 and 35 shall not have access to lot 2X open space, and lots 35 through 40 shall not have access to the existing phase 1 detention area.
Okay, for phase 3, submit the full construction set, we're working on that, and then submit a floodplain development permit application prior to construction.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding these requests? Commissioners, any questions?
And I'll go ahead and
Oh,
cover
sure.
the replat.
Please do.
This 106.7 acre PUD includes 21.3 acres of designated green space approximately, with about 13.2 acres planned for dedication to the city. The replat of Lot 83 in Phase 1 creates lots 83A and 83B, and that formally separates the area that's intended for city dedication from a smaller portion that will remain under the ownership and maintenance of the POA. So in addition to the standard planning comments, all comments from utility providers and city departments must be addressed prior to approval. If easement vacation is required, the appropriate process will be provided to the applicant. Provide the location and descriptions of all stakes and monuments, including the monuments set at subdivision corners and points of bearing change. Show the location and description of all dedicated easements, including the dedicated drainage easement for that lot. Identify the size of all utilities and the drainage systems. I think we're pretty close to showing that, but not quite there yet. Show the location of all existing prominent physical features, including monument signage. Clearly label all common areas. The final plat currently identifies Lot 83 as a common area, but it's not shown in the replat. And then revise the notary acknowledgement to reflect the current year.
Thank you. Commissioners, if there's no questions, the first,
I've got
sorry.
a couple comments, Mark, sorry. I was pushing the wrong button. Okay, so is the replat going to be the instrument that dedicates the lot to the city, or will there be a separate instrument? Or do y'all know that yet?
We don't know yet.
Okay, we'll just have to make sure we get the right wording on there if you want to do that transmittal with it. And then, yeah, like Jackie said, I think entirety of Lot 83 is a drainage easement, so it's just the whole thing. And, okay, and then I would like if the POA could confirm that they will continue maintenance of the detention facilities in Lot 83A until an alternate agreement is reached as part of the proposed wetland restoration project that the city's doing. So POA maintenance, meaning mowing, cleaning up litter, accumulated sediment, just regular maintenance. Even after the transmittal to the city, we would not take maintenance until our project starts. So I just want to make sure that's clear.
Thank you. If there are no more comments or questions, the first thing we do is vote on the PUD from a PUD to a revised PUD. It's a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 8-0. Next, we'll vote on a replat of Phase 1. This is motion subject to staff comments.
Motion subject to staff comments.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 8-0 as well. And the final is preliminary plat for Phase 3. This is also a motion subject to staff comments.
Motion to forward to City Council with approval, subject to staff comment.
Second.
Thank you. That also passes 8-0.
Okay, so staff is going to prepare an ordinance for the rezoning that goes to city council on the 24th. Now, the replat, it is eligible to go to next Tuesday, but we would need revisions and finalized by the end of day tomorrow. So I don't know if it's going to be the instrument that you use to dedicate to the city, then you have the option to hold off and have it go with the rezoning on the 24th. Just communicate that with our office so we know, okay?
Can do.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Good luck on your recovery.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're going to listen to B26-05 McDonald's Restaurant. This is a variance for a minimum distance from drive-through in residential district, presented by Danielle Carter. Northwest Arkansas traffic, what can you say?
Yes, so I didn't realize that Springdale traffic is just as bad as Dallas and Fort Worth. So,
Oh, wow.
so I do apologize for being just a tad bit late.
No problem.
My name is Danielle Carter. I'm with Ufi Cheeto on behalf of McDonald's. So we are here today to get a variance due to the 200-foot residential distance. So from our noise box to the residential zoning, like there's no way for us to provide that 200 feet. And so I am just here today to request that variance.
Thank you. Staff comments? Benny? Any public comments regarding this variance request? Commissioners, any questions regarding this?
How far is the buffer going to actually be?
I can pull up the site plan real quick, if you don't mind me just logging in and grabbing that site plan.
That's fine. Or is that dotted line, just remind me, Nate, is that dotted line that I see, is that the 200-foot indicator?
Yes, yeah, so they included a dotted line on the actual plan that showed the 200-foot buffer from the north. I believe it's just a north property line, so the orange portion is that area.
Can go to the other slide, whomever's controlling it. Yeah, right there. So yeah, the dotted line that's toward the bottom of the restaurant. That's where the drive-through would normally be to meet our standards. And we've moved it to the north, we'll just call it the north. Roughly, looks like 15 parking spaces, which is roughly 150 feet. Does that work for you, or you good with that?
It looks like it's about maybe 75 feet, just quickly looking at the drawing.
If there are no further comments, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 7-1. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next up is R26-05, Zachary Eastep. This is a request to rezone from A1 to C2, presented by Dana Rosa and Adriana Bentley.
Dana Rosa with Satterfield Land Surveyors, here to answer any questions you have.
Any staff comments? Working on it.
The rezoning request is in keeping with the following goals and policies of the comprehensive land use plan and is recommended for approval. Assure adequate land allocation for commercial areas of sufficient size and in proper locations, and encourage the development of wide-range commercial development for the residents and tourists to include neighborhood, community, and regional centers. And for this one, there was an approved development plan that is built out and done, and they want to expand, I think, for parking. And so they have an informal plat right now under review in our office to acquire a little bit more property. So for zoning compliance, they need to come into the right zoning to match the business next door.
Thank you for that. Any public comment regarding this request? Commissioners, any questions? Can you go back to the other image? So is that the project to the?
The address on the project, it's right there on Oak Grove, that
just-
long building right there.
Right there in front of
Literally
it.
to the west of
Got
that
it,
outline.
10-4. Thank you for that. This will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 8-0. Thank you, sir.
Staff will prepare an ordinance for the 24th. Thank you, Dina.
Next up is conditional use. First request is C26-01, Madam Artenis. Use Unit 28, Home Occupation, and SF2, presented by Sean and Amanda Adams. She brought gifts.
I did. I brought things to show. So my name is Mandy Adams, and I am the founder of Madam Arkansas, actually. So pun on Arkansas and art. So I'm a local artist that I've started painting. So I have a couple of my pieces, abstract art or a football field on your wall. Your guests won't know the difference. And I'm also a U of A alum, so I like to paint fun Arkansas-related work, Arkansas animals, that sort of thing. So I paint these pieces, here, hold on. So paint these pieces in my house, and then I take scans of them and I upload them online, and I'm using a print-on-demand service. So if a customer orders a piece, it'll automatically be, the order will be sent to a fulfiller who will print it and send it right to their house. So I'm not keeping any inventory in my house. Most of the stuff I paint for me. I do paint some commissions, but I'm not bringing customers to my house, and I'm just painting it in my house. So I'm here to request a conditional use permit for a home occupations permit, so I can just pursue these artistic endeavors.
I'm assuming this highlighted room is the room you've dedicated to your art. Is that
Yes.
correct? Are there any public comments regarding this request? Commissioners, any questions? Staff comments?
So for this, it meets all the criteria, the home occupation. And some of the conditions that we put on home occupations that would be listed would be the no alteration of the outside appearance of the residential structure, no outside storage of materials required for the operation of the business, operated only by the resident members of the household, no other employees, requires the use of no greater than 30% of the total heated living space, generates no traffic, parking, sewage, or water in excess of what is normal to the neighborhood, will not produce any fumes, odors, noise, any other offensive effects that are not normal, will not involve accessory buildings. Stock and trade shall not exceed 10% of the floor area of the accessory use, will not require construction of a duplicate kitchen, will not require or cause consumption of food on the premise, and will not provide medical treatment, therapeutic, massage, or similar activities.
Thank you for that. This is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 8-0. Thank you.
Staff is going to prepare a resolution that's going to go to City Council on February 24th.
Next up is preliminary plats, replats, and final plats. First item is FP 26-01, Nature Walk Phase 2 and 3, presented by ESI.
Hello, everyone. Josh Haley with ESI here. Tonight, we're asking for the approval of the final plat for Nature Walk Phases 2 and 3, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Staff comments?
For planning, the 20-foot utility easement containing the 6-inch sewer main is planned for relinquishment and removal prior to acceptance by the city of Springdale. We need to update the recording references and discuss note number 9 on the cover sheet. All street names shall be approved prior to acceptance. Consolidate the sidewalk notes on the cover sheet. Remove out parcel label from the site information. The city will treat corner lots as having 2 frontages and 2 side yards. If a different interpretation is intended, a note identifying corner lots with a single front should be added to the final plat. This helps with fencing in the future. Add additional building setback and utility easement callouts, verify rear and side setbacks, clarify the label on the curve table, and enter the benchmark data.
And on the engineering side, we need to submit final plat checklist items, and then once the punch list is complete, schedule a follow-up inspection.
Thank you. Are there any public comments regarding this request? Commissioners, any questions? Can you tell me what's going on with this dotted? I'm not sure what that means. I can't read it, it's too small, but the linear dotted lines that go from the top right down to the bottom left, if you will, across about 3 lots. Can you tell me what that is?
Is it about lots 33 through 35? Does that look right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So there's an existing sewer easement. Previously, the 6-inch sewer ran through those lots. And then with our development, we rerouted the sewer and kind of took it on that lot 36, 35 lot line and then ran it into the rear of those lots and then kind of carried it further in the northeasterly direction. So those lines that you're saying are existing easement by the Water and Sewer Commission that we are in the process of getting vacated.
Is there a pipe in the ground now or no?
It's abandoned, it's removed. It's not in service. It's in that 8-inch that we did with the development, so that pipe is no longer there.
So it's not there, it's just not, so it's not just not in service, it actually doesn't exist in the ground, is that what you're
I
telling me?
believe so.
Okay.
I believe it's been removed.
Katie, do you have any issues with that? I don't know.
Now, since this is a water sewer easement, they'll just need to take care of it through their commission.
Sure, thank you. This is, if there's no questions further, this is a motion subject to staff comments.
Motion subject to staff comments.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 8-0.
Let us know whenever the abandonment of the easement is finalized, then we'll schedule whatever the next city council ready is after that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next up is large-scale developments. First item is L26-02, Success Avenue Flats. This is also regarding to this large scale, we have a deviation of access and frontage type in an NC2. This is presented by ESI as well.
Hey, Nick Boning with ESI, here to answer any questions if I have any.
Staff comments?
So in addition to the standard planning comments, I wanted to explain the deviations a little bit. So a deviation is requested from the building development standards for a stacked flat, and it's related to the building access and the frontage design. So that includes, if you have an awning there, you need to make sure that there's a porch provided. There are some issues with that based on the outcome of this development and who will be residing there, and so there is no desire for that porch element. And a deviation is also requested from the building envelope standards for an NC2 to allow residential use on both ground and upper floors. There is an associated replat that will need to be accepted by City Council before the large-scale development approval can move forward. Revise the required parking count shown on sheet 2. A sign permit application must be submitted through the building department for the proposed monument sign once the details are finalized. Exterior equipment, we just need to know a little bit more information on that, whether it's mounted to the building itself. I'm not quite sure if that's possible, or if it's just going to be out at ground level and how that's going to be screened. And that's it.
Okay, please remove the proposed cut line shown in Success Avenue. All street sections shall be determined by formal design with geotechnical analysis. Submit those details. Is irrigation provided for the right-of-way landscaping? And then is there a street light on the far east end of Success? I think we need to add one more street light down there by the cul-de-sac. And then I recommend extending the sidewalks from the parking lot along the backs of all the buildings to meet up with the sidewalk on Success Avenue. People are going to walk there anyway. The floodplain development permit is in review, and it will be issued at the pre-construction meeting.
Thank you for that. Any public comments regarding this?
Yeah, I have just one comment. We didn't receive a flow test off of Success Avenue from the cul-de-sac, so I'm gonna need a flow test indicating 1,500 gallons per minute or better. It's a green topped hydrant, which means it may not provide that, and if it can't provide that, we're gonna need to connect that 36-inch main to the north to the 6-inch along Success.
Yeah, we requested a flow test. It's being done.
And we'll just need to see it before we finalize.
Thank you, Ed. If there are any questions from commissioners? If there are none, we'll take the deviation of excess and frontage type and then NC2. This will be called for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Deviation request has been passed 8-0. Next is large-scale motion subject to staff comments.
Motion subject to staff comments?
Second.
Thank you. That also passes 8-0.
Thank you, guys.
Next up is L26-04, United Auto Group. This is for large-scale development. There's multiple variances presented by Bates and Associates.
Eli LaSalle here from Bates and Associates. I have a brief statement from our architect who could not be here today, but a couple of the variances are architecture related, so just real quick. The primary structure includes a modest showroom area intended for customer reception, vehicle display, and administrative functions. This area has 2,141 square feet. Adjacent to the showroom, the facility incorporates 4 enclosed service garages. These bays are dedicated for light auto maintenance. The total structure will be 4,539 square feet. The building materials are brick, corrugated metal, and metal accents arranged to give the building a modern, sophisticated look. The site layout prioritizes safe traffic flow with clearly defined entry and exit points, adequate customer parking, and designated areas for vehicle staging. Landscaping buffers are included along property lines to maintain an attractive streetscape and reduce visibility of operational areas. Overall, the dealership is designed to be a low-intensity commercial use that fits comfortably within the zoning requirements, supports local economic activity, and maintains compatibility with neighboring properties. And just my kind of personal interpretation of the reason that we have a few variances requested is just the use as a auto sales, that you kind of want something a little bit different than you would from a typical commercial use. As far as displaying vehicles for sale, you have maybe less frequent customers, but hopefully larger sales than you would experience from a typical commercial use. Yeah, and then here to answer any questions you might have, yeah.
Thank you. Staff comments?
In addition to standard comments on this project, so as Eli explained, they have a variance for commercial design standards and a waiver for street improvements. So there are currently, there's no sidewalk or anything like that along Thompson, so that's kind of a major aspect of the waiver request. For the comments that will be addressed by this commercial design standards, they include 60% of the off-street parking may not be in between the front facade and the road, foundation landscaping, pedestrian access, material repeating unbroken for 30 feet, roof lines, facade breaks, and lighting. So most of those pertain to the rear facade. There are two other comments. So suggest adding a truncated dome or some kind of detectable warning surface along the portion of the sidewalk adjacent to ADA parking. And there was a mention of a monument sign. We just asked that that location be indicated on the plans. Make sure there's no conflict with utilities, anything like that.
Submit final details for the storm tech system, including material specifications, dimensions, installation instructions, etc. Submit the approved RDOT permit prior to construction. The developer is required to improve the abutting street to the City of Springdale standards and in accordance with the master street plan. So Thompson should have a 10-foot sidewalk, and they've requested a waiver. We are moving forward with our county line extension project right south of this development, and it will actually extend up Thompson a little bit. So I would recommend that they pay in lieu of that 10-foot sidewalk, and then if we can make that payment, just put it right in the bond funds and we'll be able to construct it during that project. I think that would be the best case. And then submit a floodplain development application, please.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding this property? Commissioners, any questions? I have a couple.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Typically, when I see this many variances, my first question is, have you met with our staff? Have we discussed these variances and how to address them as best as possible to reduce them to some degree? One question, landscaping. Do you not have the landscaping in the right place, or do you not have the right amount of landscaping, period?
So it is from the specific to the foundation landscaping.
Okay.
So it's because they want to have a showroom and like the garages mentioned.
Correct.
They want to use, yeah, they don't want the landscaping to obscure the view into the showroom or to block the garages.
Are you okay with adding the needed landscape in other areas on the site in lieu of putting
I
it
believe
at the
so,
foundation?
yeah, yes.
You good with that? Because you have a lot of room to the, I guess, southeast of the property line that there's no building, no parking lot. I think could work for you. So that's one. Lighting, unfortunately, I'm a recovering lighting designer. And looking at this site and looking at what you submitted, I don't think there's an issue. I think you just have them work on that a little bit more. I don't think there's a need to ask for a variance. So either we can vote on it and I can submit my no, or maybe you can go back to the drawing board and just get that done. I think there's a way to get the lighting to our standards on this property. It's not a hardship, in my opinion.
Sure.
Do you want to remove that, or do you want us to vote on? Because we'll be taking these, at least some of them separately, is the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah, I think we would be all right with removing, would that be
Okay.
removing the lighting variance?
Yeah, so that means you just have to meet our standards on the lighting.
Yes.
With calculations and light levels.
Yes, sir.
I think you can do that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, to clarify.
please.
For the landscaping, we would still be requesting the variance from foundation landscaping and then also just proposing to provide additional landscaping other places on site?
Correct. So we're not saying you have to put it up and next to the building. I understand why you're asking not to do that, but we'd like to have the same amount of landscaping
Just-
on
okay.
the site.
Yes, sir.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you. I guess that's the main ones I have. Anybody else have any questions about these variance requests?
What was the pedestrian flow? Was that a sidewalk out to the public right away?
Yes.
And
So
just
with the-
remember that when we do that county line project, there will be a tunnel underneath 71 to connect to the Greenway.
So with the landscaping, did I not read that you all are going to replace a lot of that with planters? Or did I misinterpret that?
I believe they're planning to have planters as well, yes. Yes.
So what was the comment that y'all just made about with the redo that there's going to be a tunnel underneath. So is the recommendation that there then be connectivity from that to the building?
I was getting clarification on the pedestrian flow one. So one of our commercial requirements is that they build basically a sidewalk, a pedestrian path from the business to the public right-of-way. And with Katie's mention of the improvements, that's an added benefit.
Yeah, walkability doesn't really seem reasonable in this site now, but in the next couple of years, it will increase a lot.
In regard to the waiver of street improvements, are you okay with the payment in lieu that Katie mentioned earlier?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And sorry, just again, to clarify, that would be with the waiver and then also a fee in lieu? Or
It
that
would be,
in
I
place?
believe it would be replacing it. So you're no longer
Replacement of
asking for a waiver. You've agreed to do a payment in lieu, which we would coordinate with you what that looks like.
Council still has to pick payment in lieu on the,
Say again?
council will
That's
still
right.
have
So this
to
is a
pick
recommendation.
that option.
Fair enough. So we would recommend to the city council to accept a payment in lieu in place of the waiver.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Let's do the waiver request first, which is now, assuming that the commission's good with it, it will be a recommendation, a motion to forward to the city council to recommend a payment in lieu.
I move that we forward this to city council with the recommendation of a payment in lieu for those street improvements.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 8-0. Next up is the variances. I believe the lighting has been removed, that they will fix that. They're no longer asking a variance for that. Landscaping, we still have a variance, but they have agreed to replace the foundation landscaping with landscaping other places on the site. I guess the only other one we really talked about was pedestrian flow. Does the commission have any comments or questions or thoughts about not requiring a sidewalk from the building to the future sidewalk along 71?
I would recommend, based on feedback we just heard, that it would be needed.
Fair enough. Do you want to remove your request for pedestrian flow variance, or you want us to vote on it?
I believe the variance from pedestrian flow was both because there is no sidewalk on or adjacent to the site, though we do now know that that will be at least reaching to the site with that county line project. I believe we would remove that variance request, and we will look at the site.
Okay, so you're removing that one as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, just to catch everybody up, including myself, the variances are parking lot orientation. That's because the building is, all the parking, or most of the parking is in front of the building, which, based on the use, is the primary reason for that. Central features and community spaces, facades and exterior walls, and detail features. Those are the primary variance requests. I guess landscaping, if you look at it as there's no foundation landscaping due to the garage doors, but there will be amount of landscaping that we typically require on the site. So having said that, do we want to take these variances with one vote?
Yes.
Okay. So call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 8-0. Hopefully someone took really good notes. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your help.
Hold on, don't
You
go
want-
away, Eli.
I guess we've got to approve your development in general. Large-scale development, this is motion subject to staff comments.
Motion subject to staff comments?
Second.
Thank you. That passes as well. Thank you, sir.
And the waiver request, staff is going to write up a resolution that goes on the 24th, and so you're recommended to come.
Next up is public hearing form-based code. request is FB 26-03, Ashley Vaughn. This is a deviation for increased fence height from 3 foot to 6 foot, presented by Jonathan Kipp.
Hi. So Ashley purchased a house and we were just going to replace the fence where it was.
Sorry, what's your name, sir? State your name.
Sorry, I'm Jonathan Kidd.
Thought you might be, but just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, and so that's pretty much what we're wanting to do. It's not really the front of the house, but my understanding is considered the front of the house because it's a corner lot. So you can see the existing fence that's there on the back. We're going to remove that, and we're wanting to move it in, it's like 15 feet from the road, and do that as privacy fence, the 6-foot privacy fence.
Will it connect to another fence, or is it just,
It
will
connects
it
to the
turn and go
fence.
north or turn and go? I see it
Yes,
now.
it goes north. It's the red line, the
Understood.
L-shaped line on the left side of the picture. And it connects to the existing fence at the back.
Understood. Staff comments? If any? Any public comments regarding this request, the new fence height? Please, commissioners, any questions?
Ask what material?
Cedar, just
Wood.
fence, pickets.
If no questions, this is call for the vote, unless you have a question, sir? No?
Call for the vote.
Thank you. That passes 8-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up is Board of Adjustment, B 26-07, William Connor Presley. This is a variance for paving requirements, presented by William Connor Presley.
My name is Connor Presley. I'm happy to answer any questions.
What are you doing, Connor? What's going on here?
Well, I built a driveway and code recently told me it was not up to code, so here I am.
So in our driveway expansion ordinance, it talks about the expansion should be the same material as the original driveway. And so that's why this one came up. And I believe the next one is the same situation.
Did you do this for pervious reasons?
No.
No? Why did you do concrete, gravel, then concrete again underneath the patio? Just curious.
I mean, just aesthetic reasons. I didn't necessarily want a big chunk of driveway in my front yard.
Yeah, understood.
Wanted to do something different, I guess.
Yeah. Is that loose gravel or is it?
It's got an underlayment and it's got a stabilization grid on it, so it's not necessarily going anywhere.
Yeah, it's like pervious pavement type of thing, which is good.
I just didn't know what that word meant, so.
Any public comments regarding this request?
How many inches is that of gravel?
It's got SB2 under it, like 4 inches. I think the top gravel's just like 1.5 inches, so.
It's like you got a ribbon of concrete all the way around it to kind of hold it in place, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's a 12-inch curb. Thank you.
Well, with that, call for the vote?
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 7-1. Thanks for slowing down our water.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Next up is B 26-08, Ricardo Martinez and Genesis Anaya. This is a variance for paving requirements as well.
Hello, my name is Ricardo Martinez. I'm here for the variance. I guess I put asphalt next to concrete, and I guess that's not, up to code.
Is this what it looks like today?
Yes.
And the previous picture is what it used to look like?
Yes.
Okay. Any staff comments? Commissioners, any questions?
This doesn't go against the amount of coverage per front of the, you know what I mean, concrete per
You did come in
grass.
and get a permit
I did.
For the driveway part, I
did
think we
come
checked all
get a
that.
Permit.
Right.
So I mean, I was under the idea that, it was okay, but then,
It's a pretty big lot, too.
but I mean, it's helped me because even with the gravel, there was a lot of puddling, so it was a constant mess there.
Sure.
I mean, with the asphalt, I mean, I've had a great improvement. I mean, my backyard used to be a whole
Sure.
lake, but now it's good.
What's the use, why do you require this much pavement? What do you do on the site, or what happens here?
I mean, that's just for personal. I have kids. There's the basketball hoop as well, so I want to give them more space. I mean, it's me, it's my two sons, and then my sister that typically play, and,
Is that a hoop above the garage door? Is that what that is?
no,
No?
it's on the other, it's like.
Behind the
connected
house?
To the driveway, but I want.
Oh, 10-4. You need to put a three-point line down there. Any public comments regarding this request? Okay, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and if you have any comments regarding this request, we'd love to hear it.
Could I give you some paperwork?
You gave the right guy, he's a lawyer. State your name and address, please.
My name's Debbie Leahy. I live at 806 North Pleasant,
Thank you.
houses south of 810 North Pleasant. For the past 4 years, and I don't know this gentleman, I don't recognize him as the gentleman who lives at 810 North Pleasant, but they've been running a concrete business. And those pictures are taken of across from my side door is to my house. I don't have a back door, so it goes across the lawn of 808 North Pleasant, where there's a concrete business, and they've laid clay.
Are you speaking
and-
of 810, or?
Well.
We just want to talk about
810.
810.
Okay, 810.
Yeah, it's the only one we're
All
talking
right.
about, 810.
The asphalt is to, I guess, further operate their concrete business from this address. It leads to a barn and a privacy fence, and they have trailers and dumpsters and all the equipment they need to run their insulation business, excuse me. at
Is it
810.
insulation or concrete?
Concrete's at 808, insulation is at 810.
Do you have an installation company, sir?
Yes, but I do have I don't have any of my equipment there. I actually have my associate has a warehouse in his private land that we store all our things. And I mean, I can submit proof of that and everything too. But I don't have any of my installation equipment there.
Does your group ever meet here and then get your
No.
thing and leave or
I mean,
anything?
I bring my truck.
Sure.
But I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't bring the actual.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments about 810?
They conduct business there
Okay.
regularly.
Thank you.
And I have more photographs that I can submit.
Anything else? Thank you. Any other public comments? Commissioner, any questions?
Is there a protocol for this scenario?
I will say that staff, multiple departments have checked this. And right now, our only concern, and that's before the planning commission, is just the varying material types for the driveway at 810.
Yeah, really, I think it's beyond our scope to talk about what the site is used for. I think we're just discussing, are we okay with this being paved? Yeah. Any other questions? Good question, Brent. If there are none, this is a call for the vote.
Call for the vote.
Thank you. Passes 7-1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is waivers. We have a waiver request W26-06 from Fellowship Bible Church. This is a waiver of street improvements on West Emma Avenue and North Camel Drive, presented by David Gilbert with Plymouth Engineering PLLC.
Seems like this thing gets farther from the seats every time I come up.
It
here.
does. We move it back 2 inches every month.
You do, yeah.
Yes. Before
You know,
long, you'll be out in the hallway.
When we were in college, they told us gravity was a constant, and that's not true. Gravity increases with time, I promise.
That's the truth.
Hi, I'm David Gilbert with Plymouth Engineering. Fellowship Bible Church is proposing to do a couple of small building expansions that add up to about 4,800 square feet. They have over 700 feet of frontage on these two roads, and the cost of street improvements would just be grossly disproportional to the amount of construction they're actually doing. Fellowship Bible Church is a not-for-profit entity. It's church, and a fairly small church. They have 200 or 300 people in attendance there weekly, so this is not a mega church. They are not made of money. As part of the building expansion, they are being required to address life safety issues, which include $250,000 in providing a sprinkler system inside the entire building, not just the additions. So this is already a very expensive project for them. There will be an opportunity in the future for street improvements to be done. They are planning to do a sanctuary expansion at some point. We don't know when that will be at this time, but this is not the last effort to do this. The surrounding properties are mainly single-family residential for 300 feet to the west and 700 feet to the north, and about as far as you can see to the east and the south. So there won't be any improvements done here. The improvements prescribed by the master street plan to Emma Avenue would involve actually moving the curb 6 feet in. In other words, Emma is too wide. So that would be a very significant expense. This is not an easy thing to do, and it would be very expensive. So we would respectfully request a waiver from street improvements.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding this request? Is there any staff comments? Commissioner, any questions? There's a bike lane on the street currently, right? Is that?
They have just striped a
Yeah.
bike lane fairly recently.
Right.
I don't go by there all the time, but the last time I was there, I did notice that
Yeah.
bike lanes have been striped on both
Mhm.
sides of Emma. Emma right now is like 46 feet wide. and
It's massive.
Supposed to be 30. So.
This section of Emma is really wide. I'd love to see. Anyway,
There's already a sidewalk there too. It's
correct.
just- Yeah.
Yeah, the sidewalk actually ends, I think, at Campbell. I think it flip-flops from that point on
They
Emma,
have-
one side of the road or the other.
They have sidewalks on both of their frontage.
Correct.
But to the point I mean, if this was required to be done, you'd have a street that all of a sudden jogs, which is not a safe traffic condition, and it would be so mismatched for so long that truthfully, by the time that anybody else developed, the street standards probably would have changed and it wouldn't match what you wanted then anyway.
Thank you. This will be a motion to forward to City Council with recommendation of denial or approval of this waiver.
Motion to forward to City Council for approval of this waiver.
Second.
Thank you. That passes 7-1. Your request will be forwarded to City Council for approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll prepare a resolution for the 24th.
24th. Thank you.
Next up is Larry Stucco, W26-07. Also a waiver of street improvements on East Robinson Avenue, presented by ESI.
Hi, everyone. Josh Haley with ESI. On this one, we're asking for a waiver for the site of sidewalk improvements along East Robinson here. The plan is to not do any other site improvements. We're trying to just use the same building from that's standing and just kind of redevelop that building. And happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any public comments regarding this request? Commissioners, any questions? What building is this? Is close to George's corporate? Is that where I'm thinking? Am I in the right spot?
This is that building that got destroyed by the tornado and has
Oh,
been
yeah,
sitting
that
there
one.
as red iron.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's got bones. If there's no question, this is a motion to forward to City Council with recommendation of denial or approval of this waiver.
Motion to forward to city council with approval.
Second.
Thank you. Passes 8-0. Thank you.
All right, staff is going to prepare a resolution that goes on the 24th, okay?
All right, Planning Director's report.
All right, everybody. So we are finally back to almost the full capacity that we were about a year ago. We've been operating pretty understaffed. So Harper King and Olivia King, no relation, just great last names, have both joined as planning
That is
commissions.
random, by the way. They're both King. I thought they're brother and sister or someone. I read that in an email.
I've already made too many monarch jokes, so I will knock it off. Our next work session, it's on the 17th, and active transportation is going to kind of be the
Oh, fun.
topic. So I've already told Jennifer, since she is on our active transportation committee,
has
that
to
I
be there.
might put her on the spot a little bit. But some of the other committee members will hopefully be there too and walk us through some of the updates on the trail and the Greenway, and some of the projects that they have going on that we don't always necessarily see every month before Planning Commission. A couple projects that Sarah gave C of O for, so the Tesla building in Southwest Springdale, the cards office on Old Missouri, and Industrial Park Phase 4 here, they had a non-large for a building, all got certificate of occupancy, and then just a city council update from December. It wasn't a huge agenda. I apologize, I put December, but it was actually from January. I just found one of my own typos, but the projects themselves are correct. But we had several rezones that were all passed. No opposition at the meeting itself, and 2 waivers, one for street improvements to Don Tyson for that Chester Place plat for the 2 lots that we heard. And then the other one was for the Paramount Metals, wrapping them up for a sidewalk on Old Missouri, which were both granted with option 1. So thank you all.
Thank you. I wanted to be noted, my last planning commission that I chaired was 1 hour long. You're welcome. Adjourned.